that I can't turn on my video for some reason? That's okay. It's okay. I will survive. All right. So at 6:32 p.m., I call this meeting to order. Right. And first up is roll call. So so District 1, that is me. I am present. District 2,
Present.
thank you. District 3,
Present.
District 4,
Present.
thank you. District 5,
Present.
thank you. District 6. There we go. District 6 appears to not be present. District 7. All right, District 7 has informed us that she will be unable to make it tonight. District 8 is absent, right? There's a vacancy. District 9,
Present.
thank you. And District 10. District 10 does not appear to be here. So that wraps up roll call. And next up would be the land acknowledgement. So it appears that I did not receive any volunteers to read out the land acknowledgement today. So I will take care of it this time, but next meeting I would like for someone else to read it out loud. All right, so we would like to take a moment to recognize that while we gather at the city of San Jose, we are gathered on the ethnohistoric tribal territory of the Damian Ohlone speaking tribal groups, some of whom were direct ancestors or lineages in the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. The present-day Muwekma Ohlone tribe is comprised of all the known surviving American Indian lineages aboriginal to the San Francisco Bay region, who trace their ancestry through the missions Dolores and Clara in San Jose. We, the San Jose Youth Commission, recognize the importance of this land to the indigenous Muwekma Ohlone people of this region. We also recognize that the ancestors of the Muwekma Ohlone constructed and maintained the 3 Bay Area missions. We pause for this land acknowledgement as a way of showing respect and countering the narratives and practices that erase indigenous people's history and culture, and toward inviting and honoring the truth. Thank you. Moving on to public record, we have received no correspondence from the public, so we can move on to open forum. All right. Do we have any members of the public with us? It appears we do. Mr. Soto, would you like to speak? Mr. Soto?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, we can hear you now.
Okay, hi, good evening. My name is Paul Soto. I'm from the Horseshoe. and
All
that's
right.
significant.
I'm sorry. It's just like to remind you that you have 2 minutes to speak. If you'd like more, you can request. And I'll also remind you to please abide by the rules of conduct. All right. You may begin.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Again, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. And that's significant that I announced myself from the Horseshoe. I would like to to advise the council to really study redlining and to study the 1939 map. I grew up in D11 on that map. And because I grew up in D11, I have knowledge, generational knowledge of exactly what it is like to grow up, for example, in a place that is park deprived, that there was lack of resources within the schools, and that led to generational educational gaps. That's just one of the examples. The other examples is that there was no investments in community centers or any kinds of recreational activities within these particular areas. The other thing is over policing and police brutality, that these were most prominent in these particular areas that were redlining. One of the things to be noted about redlining is that D11 is the Horseshoe area, which is the Gardner area. That was literally designated D11, which is the last on the redlining map. A1 was Palm Haven, which you can throw a rock from Gardner Center and hit Palm Haven. So the question here is, why is it that the lowest designation was set in direct proximity to the highest designation on that 1939 map? Now, when we can answer that question and answer it honestly and clearly, then I think we can start talking about what equity looks like. Because the redlining map of San Jose of 1939 is the measure by which we have been treated with inequity. That's what it is. It is the measure by which we have been treated with inequity. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your input. Okay, so do we have any other members of the public with us today? Okay, does not appear that we do. So we can move on to the next section of our agenda. Right, so do we have any motions on the floor to approve the consent calendar, which consists of the October 24th agenda, the September 26 minutes, and September 26 attendance records?
I motion to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you, Commissioner Khan. Do we have any seconds?
I second this motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Singh. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank, thank you. Any abstentions? All opposed, please say nay. All right, we can approve the consent calendar. The motion passes, and we can move on to section 5 of the agenda. So first, we have an informational presentation / report from the Downtown Youth Wellness Center.
Hi, good evening. I'm Selena Chun. I work for Alum Rock Counseling Center, and I will be sharing my screen to present about the Downtown Youth Wellness Center. Give me 1 second. So the Downtown Youth Wellness Center is a center that is for youth ages 12 to 25. It's a place for different activities, learning, a place for youth and young people just to spend time and hang out, meet other peers, receive services from staff, or just use the space for whatever their needs are. We are located at 725 East Santa Clara Street. Here in this slide, you'll see the building that we're located in, which is called the San Jose Metroplex. The location specifically of the center is downstairs in Suite 105. We are right off of East Santa Clara Street and 16th Street or 17th Street, across from the Walgreens, if you're familiar with that area of downtown. And we're right along East Santa Clara Street, so the bus is there as well. When you are walking to the center, you'll see this sign as you walk down the stairs here on the bottom right. And then you will walk down a small hallway and you'll see a sign for the Downtown Youth Wellness Center. The hours of operation for our center are Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 to 7. And then on Saturdays, 9 to 5. So we are open Tuesdays through Saturdays in hopes of youth or young people being able to access the center and use the center for their needs, whether that's during the weekdays, after school, into the evenings, or on the weekend. What's unique about this center is that it is a partnership between my agency, so I work for Alum Rock Counseling Center, as well as the County of Santa Clara's Behavioral Health Services Department. It's a partnership between both of our entities to provide services and provide this center for the County of Santa Clara and for San Jose. This slide shows the staffing in the center. And so what's unique is that we have both our Santa Clara County partner staff as well as my agency staff working together in the same center. On the county side, there are different clinical staff to support with any therapeutic, counseling, or other linkage to other support service needs. And on the ARCC or Alum Rock Counseling Center side, we do have what we call peer support services. We also provide a receptionist. This center is designed for youth. If you haven't come to check it out, I really encourage you to come and visit. I'm going to be going through some of the slides that show off the space, just so that you all can see it here, but again, it's way better in person. So here on the left, you can see the entrance. You'll be greeted by a receptionist, and you'll come into this bright orange wall. These are a little bit older pictures. Now we have various decoration, decor, plants, paintings up, but at least again, you get a snapshot of the center right now here. On the picture on the right is what we call our hangout space. It's the first room that you'll see when you walk into the center. As you can see from these pictures and the ones that I'll be showing, the design of the furniture, the colors, all of that, we are hoping that it's more youth friendly, that it's a place, again, for young people to just be able to feel themselves, hang out, not so office-y. And so again, here on the right is our hangout space. We offer, there's a TV, youth can watch TV, maybe a movie, play video games, play board games. It's a place where we might offer different facilitated activities between young people and staff, or again, a place for youth just to use. This next slide shows our large space that could be used as a group meeting room or for other group activities or conferences. When you continue walking through the center, as you enter the receptionist entrance and then go to the right, you'll see another open space, which you can see here. It includes a lounge area, which you can see on the left, another place to hang out, study, or on the right, you'll see a kitchen, which is used by youth or in partnership with staff and youth, either to just eat a snack after school or learn cooking or cook together or learn about nutrition. Another snapshot of this area, but specifically, we have a small section for art supplies and art projects to be done. This can be, for example, canvas painting, drawing, watercolors, clay. And we also offer instruments for young people to use if they wish, or youth are also welcome to bring their own musical instruments, but we have various guitars and a keyboard. One of our staff knows how to play musical instruments, and so that's also an activity or something to be used here in the center. Continuing back, you'll see various rooms that can be used for small group meetings or counseling sessions. Again, just an example of the rooms that we have. And we also have a laundry room, which has a washer and dryer, as well as a sink that can be used to wash hair. In another section of the center, we offer various hygiene and toiletry supplies or feminine products, free access for youth to just come and grab if they need. We hope to be a place, if any youth are needing this type of support or services, that they can utilize it for free. And in the future, we do hope to have some type of a clothing closet for any youth perhaps needing support with professional wear, maybe for an interview, or just clothing in general if they're needing clothes or shoes. So that's the space. I'm going to talk about center services. And so again, it's a partnership between Santa Clara County Behavioral Health as well as my agency, Alum Rock Counseling Center. Here is a list of all the services that happen there in the center. So youth can go to our center and receive peer support and mentoring. They can attend a different group or activity. They can receive support with employment and education. They can meet with a clinician, a therapist that same day. They can have support with perhaps a warm handoff or an introduction to applying for housing, or support with a food bank, or applying for FAFSA for college, or writing a resume. And we work as a multidisciplinary team with our county partners to provide wraparound services, which is essentially ensuring each youth that goes to the space and they're wanting services is individualized in terms of their support. So we treat every youth as an individual and understand that everyone has different needs. This center and all of our services are free. There's no eligibility requirements to use the space, to walk into the center, to receive peer support or mentoring. No insurance is required. The only eligibility is to be between the age ranges of 12 to 25. And if you are a youth that or young person that comes by and you're not 12, maybe you're younger than 12 or you're older than 25, we will definitely do our best to provide a resource for that person so they can get the support, even if it's not at the center. There we go. And peer support, if you're not familiar, this is the type of support that a youth might receive from one of the staff at Alum Rock Counseling Center. It would be from a staff member who is near peer in their age, has their own lived experience of overcoming various challenges that we all go through. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's school, maybe it's something going on at home, or other just different challenges and needs that our staff have gone through, overcome, and been successful. And in that way, we hope that the young person and staff can share in this experience and receive the support, the listening, the validation, the mentoring that will help this youth then focus on their goals and get to a place where they'll be successful and support their coping, their decision-making, their health. Other parts of peer support are a lot around linkaging to different resources in the community, as well as our staff do a lot of outreach. You might see them at a tabling fair, or they can provide presentations or workshops on different topics. And we put on fun, engaging, and educational groups and activities in the center. Here's a flyer, which I can email out of our current groups right now. And so our groups are daily on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays every week. Tuesdays, we have a group called Circulo. It's a group for reflection and acknowledgements, for some grounding, to check in emotionally or spiritually on where that youth is, and to build community with any youth that is there also in the space. On Wednesdays, we have music and self-care. So I mentioned we have guitars and keyboards. So a place for youth to either learn how to play one of those instruments or just to jam out and play, perhaps with one of our staff. And on Thursdays, we have Art and Vibe, which is a chance to do either structured art activities that are already planned, or just use the supplies that we have to make or do art. Every first Thursday of the month, we do have a new offering called Cafe Lounge. And so that's a type of open mic performance, music, talent activity that we will have monthly. Music and self-care and Cafe Lounge are our newer offerings. So I do have flyers to show here. And again, these can be emailed out. All of our groups are open to everyone, again, between the ages of 12 to 25. You don't need to sign up in advance. It would be great if you are able to give a heads up that you'll be coming, but if not, you can drop on by. It's not a closed group, so if you didn't come to our first session, that's totally fine. We always welcome new participants. As I mentioned, the space is way better to see it in person. We love having everyone come by for a tour, whether you're a youth, a young person, a provider in the community, a family member, a teacher, anyone. We would love for you to come and see the space in person and also meet some of the staff, because we think that will be the best way then to know if this is the place for you, or so that you can share it with other people, other young people to come on by. And there is no commitment, just to come and check it out. And if in that visit, the young person would like to receive services or enroll in services, then we will go through what we call a welcome packet to learn more about the young person and perhaps the support they're wanting. But again, it is not an expectation just to come and use the center or check out the center. And in regards to referrals, so we are a drop-in center, so you can come by anytime, whether you have an appointment or you're just coming by in the hours that we're open. Again, Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 to 7, or Saturdays, 9 to 5. You can call us and schedule an appointment, or again, just come on by. And to contact us, this is the best number to reach us there at the center. It is the number to our front desk, as well as we have a general email account. My information is here. Again, I'm Selena, and our county partner, the program manager, is Kristen, and that is her contact information. And I'm not sure if there's time for question and answers right now, Commissioner.
No, there's definitely is time for questions or comments or emotions. So I'd just like to open up the floor then. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Commissioner Khan?
Hi, do I refer to you as Miss Chun, right?
Sure, or Selena is fine.
Yeah. So I really like the idea of like it being a community space and like having like giving everyone the opportunity to attend it. And as you were saying, right, with the clothing closet, District 4 Youth Advisory Council is actually planning a clothing drive very soon. And I was looking into places where we can donate. So if you have like the space for the closet and everything, we'd love to like donate that clothing or the clothing that we collect from the drive to that place if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Perhaps I can get your contact information, or if you can email me. We are open to donations, and we'll love just to provide anything for young people who are needing it. So that would be great. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. I thought that we're the committee in my YAC is like planning it as of right now. So they just reached out to me before this meeting. Do you have places to donate it? So I'll reach out to you and we can figure something out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Commissioner Liu, go ahead.
Hi, Ms. Chen. I'd like to quickly comment on this wellness center. I think it's a great opportunity and a great space for teens to be able to have a safe space. And mental health is definitely something that our city and our counties and our state is taking really seriously. So I'd like to thank you for coming here where we're the representative of youth to speak about this wellness center. So thank you.
You're welcome. I would love for all of you to come by if you're able. Again, we could schedule a tour. You can come by anytime. Or if any of you are still in school, we could also present to your school. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay, I do not see any hands raised, so I'd just like to comment really quickly that honestly, the breadth of options and services that the center provides just really excites me. Like the fact that there's a kitchen and there are guitars provided, it's just amazing to me, and I really appreciate all of her work. All right, so thank you, Ms. Chun, for all that. And we can move on to the next item in our agenda, which would be the fee study update from the Parks and Rec.
Good evening, Commissioners. Just one moment. Can everybody see my presentation? Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Rebecca Ross, and I'm a supervising planner with the Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood Services Capital Projects team. I was here about a year ago to talk to you about some of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight, but for the sake of those who are returning and those who are new, I'll first do a recap of the reason why I'm here. But the end of the presentation is where I hope to really engage the commission and some ideas about how we can create some exciting new types of public open spaces. So the city has lots of goals to be able to provide parks, trails, and community centers to our community, and it's based on population growth. And so I'm not going to read the whole slide to you and go detail by detail, but you can see here what those goals are. And in order to meet those goals, we have to pay for, improvements or pay to have new facilities. And one of the ways that gets paid for is we charge developers, people who come into San Jose and they want to build new housing or they want to build new commercial. We charge them what's called the development impact fee. And so before they can get their permit, they have to either give us land or give us money. And we haven't studied this program since its inception, basically in the late 70s and 80s. So right now we're going through the process of obtaining a legal study, something called a nexus study. And it just shows how we can legally change what that fee structure is into something different. There's a lot of components here. Again, I'm not going to bore you by reading all the bullet points because I want to get to the exciting things that I hope we'll get some good conversation from the commissioners about. When a developer pays them money to comply with that requirement, they can get credits towards that obligation. And these are the different types of credit programs that we have. One is private recreation credits, and I'll get back to that. One is affordable housing. So if you provide affordable housing, you get a 50% per housing unit discount. If you have existing housing, you get a credit for that. And stormwater treatment, it's basically how you clean rainwater before it goes into our rivers and our ocean. You get a credit for that. So affordable housing, existing housing, and stormwater treatment, those credits are intended to stay within the program. But what we're looking at is changing our private recreation program. And so private recreation are things that are intended to mimic what you find in a park or community center, or even in a trail. So if you go to a space and you can do all those things that you would normally do in a park or in a community center, then you can get credit for it. Right now we give credits for things that are inside the building that only the people who live in the building get credit for, like a gym or a pool. We're proposing to no longer provide credits for those amenities that the public can't access or enjoy, and just give credits for things that offer a public benefit. And the reason for this is that, when a developer pays that fee, it's supposed to be for the public benefit. And we want to help use what resources we can to make sure that everybody can get to a park within a 10-minute walk of their house. And we want to make sure that we're providing a diversity of spaces throughout the city. We want to have an engaging public life. And we want to help create an identity in San Jose that's similar to other huge metropolitan areas. So here is what we're proposing, and this is what we would like your feedback on. So instead of giving credits for interior spaces, we want to give credits for only things that the public can access. So if you're walking down the street in one of a new development site and you can pass by like a public plaza, and within this space, you could sit down, you can have passive recreation, or maybe there's a pickleball court there, or maybe some bocce ball. But the whole point is that you could be in that space and do recreational activities. And that would be your space and the public space, and anybody would be welcome there. We have some parameters here set up, like what that could be, but these are kind of baseline, just to give us a starting point and how we can communicate baseline requirements for the developer so they can include it in their design. So what do you think of this idea? This is an example of a public space that's fairly well known to many residents, not all, and it's not the end-all be-all public space, but we like to use it as a conversation point because it is familiar to a lot of people. This is a small public plaza that's located on the corner of Lincoln and Willow, and it's within a commercial, within a corner of some commercial. There's a very popular frozen yogurt ice cream place where people like to go and get their treats, and then they come sit here. But people also enjoy that space without visiting any of the businesses on Lincoln Avenue or around there, but the space certainly contributes to that. but nobody needs to or is required to visit those spaces to be able to come here, sit by the fountain, see other people. So, would this qualify as a public space that would, that we should give a credit of public money on to a developer because they're providing it? Here's an example in Denver, Colorado, where they put in, within a probably 50-foot width, some swings, and you can go and you can sit on the swings and talk to your friends, or you can swing, or you could, have a little festivity there. But the public spaces, what we would love to have is something interactive like this, that's for all ages, all cultures, everybody welcomed, and everybody could use. Here's another one. This is here in North San Jose. It's not widely known, but you can go into the Samson building, and underneath you can find this area here where there's a park, there's a basketball court, there's some bocce ball. And so I think you're seeing the pattern of where we're trying to go with this idea. So with that, I'd like to open it up for questions and answers, and see what you think.
All right. So first of all, thank you for the presentation. It looks like we have one member of the public who has a question. I don't have a name, it's a phone number, but just like to invite whoever that person is to share their question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, this is Paul Soto from Horseshoe. One of the reasons why I brought this up at the beginning of the meeting is because what they're trying to do, what the city is trying to do, and I know this is coming from experience because I attend literally all of these meetings, subcommittee meetings, city council meetings, and I hear all of the rhetoric, and I hear from the developers, and I hear from the city. What they're doing is they're allowing the developers to pay a fee in order to prevent them from having that responsibility to build these parks, because they know that park deficits have been created generationally over time. Okay, that's the critical point here. And that's the reason why I attend this meeting, and I'm going to be attending it more often, so that the youth can be educated about what is really going on in the city and what racial inequities we have because I'm speaking as a member of the Chicano community, as a member of the Mexican community, and as a sixth-generation Mexican here in San Jose. And my ancestors built the Mission San Diego in 1767, and I have birth records to account for all of this. And so this is the informed perspective that I'm bringing here, is that the city is allowing the developers to just pay a fee, and they don't have to assume the responsibility of building these parks. These parks should be part of the overall equity that we love to talk about, but we don't concretely apply. And so what I would really advise this committee to do is do your research. Start researching the redlining specifically as it related to San Jose. And one of the manifestations of that was that the Parks and Recreation deprived these areas, these barrios, of being able to have parks. So there's no reason, there's no justification for a developer to come in here and be able to pay $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, which is peanuts to them. They're billionaires. That's peanuts. Them to be able to pay that so that they don't have to build a park. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Soto. So first of all, I'd like to apologize for cutting you off earlier. I didn't clarify the rules for requesting additional time, but I believe I put them in the chat, so just refer to that. Again, I'm sorry. But yeah, so if you're done, Ms. Ross, would you like to respond to this question?
I would say that this work has led, to a lot of policy questions. So there's the fee study that's going on. So thank you, Mr. Soto, for your comments. I've seen you participate in the meetings, and I appreciate that you're an active participant. And so producing a body of work for the fee study, that's this report that's going to be shared with the public, where you'll have an opportunity to talk about, is like one body of work. But through all the discussions that we've had with our task force meetings and some of the community members, we are identifying a list of policy work that needs to happen outside of the fee study. So that is coming. And we do care about equity, and we do care about an equity lens. And so that would be part of future work, the policy work. But so just stay tuned, stay engaged, stay informed, and I'll make sure everything is as transparent as it can be posted on our website for your comment and review.
All right, thank you for that comprehensive response. I believe we have one more question, and then we can move on to the next item in our agenda for time purposes. So Commissioner Liu.
Thank you, Ms. Ross, for presenting with the Parks and Rec. I know that Parks and Rec is definitely my favorite part. It's being outdoors, it's talking with other people, sometimes getting off your phone. It's really a great opportunity that the city provides because it's something physical that you can actually be in, sit in, and socialize in and connect with others. And my question to you is, how many projects like this have been built in kind of under-resourced areas? Because the areas that you mentioned were of quite affluent areas, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you.
That's an interesting question. We haven't, what we've done is we've created a walking tour where people could go to sites that we've just identified as what we're calling a publicly open park space, POPs, and where you could go to our webpage, you can download our walking tour, and you can see the sites that we've identified where the public can access. Additionally, there's a new public space on 7th and Empire, which I would highly, highly recommend that you go visit. It's very exciting. It's just south of Japantown. There's a plaza on 7th Street. There's also a plaza on Empire, public art, interactive, distinctive features, beautiful murals. Please go check it out. We didn't overlay those sites that we've identified, whether it's in an underserved area or any other data analysis, other than identifying that location. It's an interesting question, but intuitively, I can say that, you know, through the Parks program, the Parks Fee program that I'm talking about, it's actually primarily a land dedication ordinance, and then you can comply by giving us land, or giving us land to building us a park, or giving some easement, or building a trail, or doing improvements. And that generally happens where there's new development. So where there's new construction of new housing is where you either see the money come in or you see a new park being built. So traditionally, I mean, the east side, some of the southeast have not seen a lot of new development in the last few years, and also our west side too. So they don't have the same level of resources as something in downtown or in Council District 6, where you see a lot of new construction. So to answer your question, I don't. I can say honestly that probably a lot of these areas are not included in what you would call underserved areas. It's kind of a long answer, but it's a truthful answer.
Thank you.
All right, so for the interest of time, I do think we have to move on, but I also don't see any other questions, so it's a good closing point. All right, so thank you so much for your time, Ms. Ross.
Thank you.
All right, and we can move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the College and Career Readiness Report.
Hi, good evening. I believe I have a presentation ready to go. There it is. Beautiful. Thank you. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Amanda Adi, and I am the College and Career Pathways Coordinator for the San Jose Public Library in the city of San Jose. I'm pleased to be able to present this update on college and career readiness programs on behalf of our digital literacy and education team. A version of this presentation was presented last week to the Library and Education Commission and will be presented again at the Neighborhood Services and Education Committee meeting for City Council on November 10th. I'm going to go ahead and go off video, but I'll come back for questions later. Okay. So you can go on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So update will include an overview of our college and career readiness programs. We'll talk a little bit about our quality standards and performance metrics and coordination efforts, and with a specific opportunity to elevate youth voice, which is a major focus of our coordination efforts moving forward. Next slide, please. So first, we'll talk about our college and career readiness programs. Next slide. So I'm going to start by giving an update about one of our programs called SJ Aspires. Last year, SJ Aspires grew to over 1,000 students at our partner schools, which are San Jose High School and Overfelt High School. Students at those schools claimed over 5,500 awards, which translates to over $475,000 in scholar dollars. And once a student graduates from one of these schools and enrolls in a post-secondary education institution, those dollars are claimed by the student and distributed directly to help them cover education-related expenses. Students in the program have up to 3 years from the time they graduate from high school to enroll in a community college, four-year college or university, or vocational or trade school to claim their awards. Moving over to the second column, Teens Reach is the youth council for SJPL and provides an entryway for young adults to build their leadership skills by developing and participating in library activities, as well as becoming library advisors and advocates. Throughout our library system, Teens Reach held 163 meetings with a total of 1,711 participants. And then in 21-22, teens spent over 2,000 hours participating, and program highlights include workshops on virtual investing, career speaker series, and presentations from local colleges, including De Anza and San Jose City College. To better understand citywide needs, Teen HQ at King coordinated with this body, the Youth Commission, to conduct a survey of teen demographics and priorities in spring 2022. More than 1,000 youth in grades 6 through 12 responded to the survey, representing all 10 council districts, more than 29 zip codes, and 110 schools. 40% of respondents identified as first generation, and 20% surveyed described themselves as part of the LGBTQIA+ community. Teens expressed high interest in mental health, the environment, and equity resources. Many teens used this open response format to share specific and heartfelt feelings about a teenagerhood shaped by the global pandemic. Career Online High School continues to grow and now has over 145 graduates from the program since 2016, when the program first started. 3 students who have graduated from Career Online High School are completing something called the Working Scholars Program, which allows them to earn college diploma online with funding from the California State Library and the San Jose Public Library Foundation. Next slide. So SJPL Works focused on strengthening their community partnerships and reached over 1,500 participants. Teen interns at the library's Teen HQ received over 300 hours of work experience in social media over the course of the year. And Work to Future and San Jose Works provided 374 subsidized internships and over 250 unsubsidized internships at public, nonprofit, and corporate partners. Next slide, please. The Family, Friend, and Neighbor Caregiver Support Network, or the FFN, contributes to a stronger community and early child care education workforce by connecting caregivers to resources and learning opportunities. Last year, the innovative and responsive program connected 106 caregivers to learning and workforce development opportunities, a peer community, and a range of resources. Through accessible support services, FFN caregivers were empowered and inspired to achieve personal and professional growth. Collectively, participants achieved more than 3,200 professional development hours. And those caregivers become empowered early learning advocates, and in doing so, create a ripple effect of a more vibrant future, impacting generations of children and families to come. The Resilience Core Learning Pathway joins the California for All Youth Jobs Core Program in 2022. Last year, the program connected 61 participants with employment. And the goal of this program is to connect unemployed and underemployed young adults with living wage employment and work experience opportunities, specifically in expanded learning and after-school homework help and tutoring programs. San Jose has many potential jobs doing critically important work to create a more climate smart and resilient future for our city. Collectively, program participants have over 7,000 hours of service in the last year. Next slide, please. So this is our work plan for this current year. SJ Aspires is continuing to increase enrollment to over 1,500 students. Career Online High School has maintained a success rate of over 70%, and we have a goal of awarding 40 scholarships during this fiscal year. Teen HQ will execute a library grant, a state library grant, including starting small business workshops. And Teen HQ staff will work with the Youth Commission, that's you, to execute your work plan. In addition to ongoing programming, SJPL Works will expand workforce opportunities for people with disabilities. And this is a move which complements the library's New Books by Mail program for adults with disabilities. In this year, a minimum of 75 Resilience Core participants will be placed with program providers for a minimum of 10 weeks of employment. And the FFN network will increase to offer the program to 120 members. Finally, Work to Future and San Jose Works will provide job placements to over 650 city youth at a variety of partner organizations. Next slide, please. So now just a brief overview of our quality standards. Last year, staff led self-assessment of 3 of our college and career readiness programs, including the Career Online High School, the FFN network, and San Jose Aspires. If there's interest in finding out more about the outcome, I'm pleased to be able to share that with this body. And for this upcoming year, we're building on these assessments and evaluating 2 additional system-wide programs, Resilience Core and SJPL Works. Next slide. Now, a reminder, I think you all have seen the logic model before, but if you go to the next slide, just a brief overview of our logic model. It's titled Logic, Equity in Action, because we want to ensure that all programs are designed and evaluated to provide high quality opportunities to under-resourced communities and communities of color. This logic model is broken down into 4 categories. The inputs are the resources the city and departments put into programs. Activities are the opportunities provided in those programs. Outputs are what the activities are designed to provide, and the outcomes are the results we'd like to see from all of the inputs and activities. Over time, each individual program will also develop their own program-specific performance metrics and outcomes. Next slide. These next 2 slides highlight the performance metrics of 2 of our main programs, one being SJ Aspires. Some highlights include expanding to over 2,000 students over the next few years and developing a career pathway partnership as students in the program begin to graduate and pursue their post-secondary educational goals. Next slide. Short-term outcomes for SJ Works include expanding to 375 workforce opportunities and moving more towards the long-term vision of growing the program from 6 to 8 weeks, including evaluating the success of this program. Next slide, please. So now we'll talk a little bit about the coordination efforts. Next slide. So following staff's presentation of the logic model to the NSC committee last year, the committee directed staff to identify specific actions that would close gaps in the system, strengthen collaboration, and enhance coordination between internal and external partners. Staff shared a plan for articulating these actions in a presentation to council in March, and that included recommended allocation of $3.25 million in the community benefit funding connected to Google's Downtown West development project. This included funding for a college and career pathways coordinator, that's me, and the hiring process was completed in July 2022. My main focus in this role will be developing a comprehensive college and career strategy over a 3-year period. My position is housed within the Education and Digital Literacy Division of the library, and I work collaboratively with other departments to support this citywide effort. Next slide. So through these coordination efforts, we hope to improve education and employment outcomes for San Jose's youth, increase participation by historically underserved students in post-high school education and training programs, internships, apprenticeships, and jobs that lead to longer-term careers in fields that provide a living wage. We also hope to demonstrate improved outcomes through reporting to the NSC committee and to the Youth Commission. This development process will be integrated with the Children Youth Services Master Plan, of which you've heard multiple updates from Laura Buzo at this point, and ensure complementary actions aligned to our Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force. Together, we'll identify specific actions and align performance metrics for all of our city programs. This work will require extensive analysis, coordination, and stakeholder engagement, including outreach and engagement with youth and continued partnership with the Santa Clara County Office of Education and high school districts in San Jose. Next slide. So as I said, a focus of our coordination efforts is really to think about how we elevate youth voice in this process. Rather than just designing programs for young people, we hope to design what programs should look like alongside and with input from young people, and really take our cues from what you believe to be the most important types of opportunities we can offer as a city. Next slide. One specific opportunity that I'd like to share today comes from Councilmember Cohen's office. On October 4th, Councilmember Cohen presented a memo to City Council asking that the Youth Commission evaluate ways to elevate youth voice by examining whether the Youth Commission should be expanded to include additional ages, identify which, if any, additional City of San Jose commissions would benefit from including a dedicated position for youth, and create a procedure for selecting youth members for the chosen commissions. This memo directed staff to report back to the NSC in spring of 2023. Staff has already started to work on this, but like I said, we want to work with the Youth Commission and really make sure that your voices are centered in this research and decision-making process. So we'd like to establish an ad hoc committee. I'll defer to Ms. Malloy about how exactly that happens, but you are invited to serve on this ad hoc committee and work in partnership with our staff to evaluate ways to elevate youth voice. Next slide. So that concludes my presentation, and I welcome any questions or comments from public and Youth Commission. I'm excited to see some hands.
All right, thank you so much. So just to clarify, the ad hoc committee establishment procedure is pretty simple. It's just established through a direct motion.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'll just open up the floor to any questions, comments, or motions right now. And it looks like first Commissioner Liu, then Lee.
Thank you. Well, Miss Adi, this is an incredible opportunity for the role that you hold. And I hope that you know that your role is really important and it's really making an impact for youth. Again, the SJ Aspires program is a program that's established at my school, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for students to have access to scholarship opportunities that they wouldn't have anywhere else, because scholarships in general are really hard to find. School counselors could only do so much as to help a mass amount of students. So this program just helps students become elevated, encourage them to pursue higher education, and ultimately a lifetime of learning, which to me is something that I hope to continue. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Liu.
All right, Commissioner Lee.
Yes. So first of all, I just want to thank you so much for bringing this presentation to us. As a senior in high school, this is really great because I'm in the middle of all of this college and career stuff. So this is great. One question that I had was, as youth commissioners, how can we lend a helping hand to help in whatever you have? Because I love all of these things. I'm just really curious to know, what are some actionable things that I can do to help support everything that you guys are doing?
Thank you so much for that question. Well, like I shared, this sort of strategic development effort is really going to work closely with our team that's focused on the Children Youth Services Master Plan. So for this year, your work plan is really focusing on supporting that effort, and our team will also be participating in those youth forums and listening, because the Children Youth Master Plan is sort of the umbrella, and the college and career pathway strategy will be sort of a narrowed focus around this particular sort of opportunity pathway part of the master plan. So I think what the Youth Commission can do to support this work this year is to really engage in the Children Youth Services master planning process, knowing that our work is really closely connected to that. And we will also be listening to what you have to say in the sort of big picture. And to the extent you're interested in sort of specifically calling out things that you'd like to see reflected in our strategy as part of that listening effort, please know that we will be listening.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you. So it looks like we have one more hand raised. District 3, right, Commissioner Huang.
I would like to open up a motion. So I, Commissioner Huang, motion to approve the creation of an ad hoc committee to evaluate ways to elevate youth voices.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or about that motion, or? All right, if not, we can just proceed directly to vote. Does anyone second that motion?
Commissioner Lee, second that motion.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, all opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. So right now, if anyone immediately knows that they would like to be part of this commission, just please let me know just right now. If not, I will individually reach out and may assign people to this commission. So just a heads up, if anyone wants to volunteer right now, just text me or message me or just say out loud. Okay, so again, thank you so much for that presentation. I believe that concludes, oh, we have one more item in the discussion action items section, and we can move on to that right now. So again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, I'll be really quick, you guys. So let me, well, I don't have to share, but we have, so as part of the Youth and Teen Recreation Service Group for the South Bay area, we have been invited to participate in their Yak Social. And this is a social event for all youth commission, youth advisory boards, and youth advisory committees, whatever you want to call it, to participate for a day to gather around, get to know each other. You'll work on a large mural project together, and then you'll have a couple different breakout sessions. This happens on Saturday, November 19th. It will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Mitchell Park Community Center. I know I've already connected with several of you about this, but I just wanted to reiterate how this is part of the work plan, is connecting with other commissions around the Bay Area, and being able to sort of have those connections, learn about what their commission does, possibly even do projects together. And this is a great start. So again, it's Saturday, November 19th. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please make sure you have it blocked out on your calendars. If for some reason you can't attend, please let me know. It does take place in Palo Alto, which I know is a small drive from San Jose. If you have any transportation issues or if you're concerned about that, please also reach out to me, and we will arrange something so that you can attend, because I think this is a really important bonding experience, not only for us as a commission, but also to connect with other commissions outside of San Jose. So let me know if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Khan?
Yeah, Ms. Malloy, could you please say the date again?
Yes, I emailed you all a flyer. I can email it again. I was going to share it on here, but I'd stop what Zim is doing. It is Saturday, November 19th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It takes place at Mitchell Park Community Center in Palo Alto, and that's right off of Middlefield Road. I will again forward you a flyer. I'm encouraging you all to also invite your Yak members if you would like. And oh, the theme is Color Wars. I've already selected the color black for us. I hope that's okay. All of our t-shirts are black, so I just thought it was befitting. And I feel like most of us could find a black item of clothing in our closet. So I hope that answers your question, Commissioner Khan. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, does anyone else have any other questions? All right, if not, we can move on to the next section of our agenda. Though first, I would like to point out, Mr. Soto, I did see your hand for the third presentation, but unfortunately I could not set public comment at that time because of time constraints. We are running fairly behind here. So anyways, moving on to the section of the agenda, we first have a report from the City Manager's Office.
Hello, thank you, Youth Commission, for letting us provide an update on the status of the Children Youth Services Master Plan. If I can just share my screen real quick. Let me find it. So, can you see my screen? Or is it still loading? Okay, so just as a brief reminder for any new attendees, the city of San Jose is interested in creating a master plan in order to help create a continuum of care for children and youth from cradle to career. And as part of that process, we really want the community to feel a sense of ownership and have a stake in the creation of this master plan. So in the last several months, we've been conducting community engagement activities. So we have, in the last 2 months, we've conducted 5 brainstorming sessions with our committees. So there's the Community Advisory Committee, which is composed of people from the community, including parents, nonprofit leaders, school superintendents, etc. The Executive Committee, which is comprised of internal city staff, and of course, we had one with the Youth Commission. And during the sessions, we focused on 2 major questions. The first is, what would an ideal system look like for children and families, the community, the city, and the county? And the second is, what might be the root causes or system level challenges contributing to the challenges children, youth, and families are facing? So from all of these brainstorming sessions, there was several themes that came up several times. So in the ideal system, there was the piece regarding service integration and city and county collaboration. There, we really want to make a continuum of care, which means that to better utilize our resources, we don't want to duplicate efforts, so that we can point to people who need support to resources in both the city and the county. There was a theme of access to services for children, youth, and families. There's concern regarding funding and funding decision processes. We heard a lot of feedback regarding in an ideal system, the community would have a voice in funding processes. There is also the concern of post-secondary education and career pathways and workforce development. We really want youth to gain 21st century skills as part of this continuum of care. And of course, involving youth and community voice. There was concerns regarding basic needs, cost of living, living wages, equity in services, resources, and outcomes for marginalized communities. We also received feedback regarding increasing city outreach efforts and community knowledge of services. So what this essentially means is, even if we do have a lot of services, they can be inaccessible because community members don't know about them. So we'll be taking that into consideration in the framing of the master plan. There was another focus on education quality and school supports, and increasing mental health services and reducing the stigma of accessing services. And lastly, the last major theme was program measurement and evaluation of how well the programs are doing. So as part of our ask for today, we're holding more community engagement activities to get more feedback from youth and more community members. So on Saturday, we had a parent and caregiver town hall at Hillview Library. Tomorrow, we'll be having a youth town hall from 4 to 6:30 p.m. at Educational Park Library. I know Megan might have shared the details regarding this, but if you can, please RSVP so that we have a better idea of the attendance, and make sure to share with anybody who's interested in attending. There will be more youth town halls on November 9th and at Seven Trees, and on November 15th, which will be virtual. And even though they're at specific locations, they're not limited to certain districts. We encourage everyone from around the city to attend whatever youth town hall that they can, so that we can get their feedback. We will also be having focus group dates. They're still being, we're still in the planning phase, so we don't have like direct dates, but we'll let you all know if more finalized. And lastly, we're working with our consultant, RDA, to develop a citywide survey so that we can get more feedback. And that's all I have for today. This is just the flyer. I can also, I've emailed it to Megan, Miss Malloy, but she can send it to you all. So please RSVP if you can. And that concludes my presentation for today. Do you have any questions?
All right, thank you so much. Just a reminder to all the commissioners to please RSVP. We're all looking forward to it. So yeah, any questions, comments, anyone? All right, does not appear there are any questions or comments. So we will see you tomorrow then at the town hall. All right, thank you so much for your time. Okay, so we can move on to the next item of our agenda, which would be the council liaison report.
Hi, I am here. Hi, everybody. This is Mariela with Councilwoman Arenas' office. I wanted to start first with some really great news. So, as you know, during the last couple of months, the District 8 office, along with our community partners and also with your support, has conducted additional outreach for the District 8 Youth Commissioner seat. And so I am really excited to announce that the additional time and outreach was fruitful. The applications have been reviewed and the District 8 Youth Commissioner selection will be formalized and announced within the next couple of days. And so that means that the next Youth Commission meeting in November, you will meet the new District 8 Youth Commissioner. And so we are super excited for you to meet them, to catch them up, and also really appreciate your patience and support during the process. And I also wanted to, I'm sure you know this already, but there is a midterm election coming up on Tuesday, November 8th. And so if you will be 18 years old by November 8th and you are a US citizen, you will be eligible to vote in the upcoming election. So you can actually check your registration status at registertovoteca.gov. Today is the last day to register online. So by 11:59 p.m., if you know of anybody that's been putting it off, if they want to participate in the Tuesday, November 8th election. And also, if you are a US citizen, but you're only 16 or 17 years old, while you are not eligible to vote, you can actually pre-register to vote, which means that the day that you turn 18, you're going to be all set. So you'll be registered and you can participate in the next election. So to pre-register to vote, you can also visit registertovoteca.gov. And that's all from me. Thank you.
I am so excited to meet the District 8 Commissioner. Oh my God.
So are we. We're excited for you to meet them. Yeah, that'll be really soon.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? All right. If not, thank you so much for your time. I am so excited. Yes. All right. So now we can move on to the PRNS report.
All right, that is me. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see. All right, so my name is Nick Georgioff. I'm a Parks, Recreation, and Facilities Supervisor with Parks and Rec under the Recreation Division. My office supports out-of-school time programs, and I've put up a map here for us. So my team supports field staff who are directly responsible for running our 40 expanded learning programs that serve 1,750 youth every single day. So this attached image shows off all of our multiple program models, and as all the commissioners can see, we're running at least one program in all of our 10 council districts. So PRNS offers a variety of programs for our youth from TK through 12th grade. Our most popular program is our Rock After School program for TK through 8th graders. Rock After School stands for the Recreation of City Kids. This program is out at 29 elementary and middle school sites, including PRNS community centers, parks, and the Starbird Youth Center. We also oversee one state-funded grant program called the After School Education and Safety Program, or ACES, out at the Berryessa School District. All of these after school programs that we run, they run for all 180 days of the academic year from the time that the bell rings until 6 p.m. each day. In addition to those after-school programs, we offer 10 citywide teen centers for youth from 6th to 12th grade. These teen centers are a drop-in model and currently supported through a grant from the Santa Clara County Probation Department, which allows our teens free access to all of our teen centers, including field trips, family engagement events, sports leagues, and other special events. And if any of the youth commissioners are interested in coming out to see a program in your district, definitely connect with me and we'd be happy to bring you out to one of your programs. This year so far with our special events, this past Thursday on the 20th, all 40 of our programs participated in Lights On After School, which is a nationwide advocacy event highlighting the importance of after school in our community and the importance of keeping the lights on. So our programs celebrated in ways that are super unique to their communities, with one fun example being parents and caregivers coming out to take place in a dodgeball game against their youth. Today, actually, on Monday, all of our programs also participated in College and Career Day, which is an event put on in partnership with the Santa Clara County Office of Education. Our team worked super closely with the San Jose Public Library team, including Amanda Oddie, who you heard earlier, to engage our youth on college and career pathways. Our final youth-focused highlight from our teen centers, we just began a brand new sports league with a teen volleyball sports league starting at Seven Trees last week. This fall, we just completed a flag football sports league. Shout out to District 5's Mayfair Community Center for taking home the championship. This January, we'll be hosting a futsal league, and a basketball league will follow in March. Other PRNS updates. For the first time, PRNS will now be opening up an exclusive registration window for our scholarship eligible families to ensure that the youth and families that need access to our programs most have priority. So scholarship registration happens in person at all of our 10 hub community centers starting on Wednesday, November 9th at 10 a.m. As you can see, all of our scholarship information is available online in English, Spanish, Vietnamese, and traditional Chinese. All of our activities for the winter 2023 season will be opening to view online at sjregistration.com for all of our customers on Monday, October 31st. That's next Monday. We'll start taking the scholarship applications on that day. General registration for non-scholarship eligible families will begin on Saturday, November 19th at 10 a.m. Within PRNS, we'll be running a number of holiday break camps for families who need care during that President's Break week in February. For site-specific information, PRNS posts all of our brochures online at issue.com. So starting next Monday, you'll be able to see all of those specific classes to your district and area available online. So in addition to prioritizing scholarship registration, PRNS has, with the approval from City Council, utilized American Rescue Plan dollars to ensure that our scholarship eligible families have been able to enroll in our programs, camps, and classes at a full 100% scholarship. So as an example, in our Rock After School program this academic year, we've given out over $1.1 million in scholarship to ensure that over 300 youth have had access to our safe and supportive environments after school. And for our final PRNS updates, we've been hosting a number of spooktacular events. This past week, there were an event at Almaden, Roosevelt, Happy Hollow, and Mayfair. Or rather, this coming Friday, we have events at Mayfair, Bascom, Seven Trees, and Berryessa, with an event this Saturday at Happy Hollow Park and Zoo. All of this information is always available on the PRNS Facebook, and I'll open up the floor for questions.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments? All right, if not, thank you for your time, and we will see you next month actually, because PRNS now has a standing spot on our agenda. All right, so in that case, we can move on to the San Jose Library Report. Again, thank you, Mr. Giroff, for your time.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Michelle Arnott, Deputy Director of the San Jose Public Library, and I oversee public services. I'm going to go off camera for a moment because I have a little bit wonky internet here. So I'm really excited to announce that we have launched in San Jose the largest community wireless network to date. Last Thursday, our mayor, Sam Liccardo, joined our city librarian, Jill Bourne, Eastside Union High School District Superintendent Glenn Vanderzee, and also Eastside Union High School District Vice President of the Board, Lorena Chavez, as well as a student from Eastside Union High School District, Joshua Gutierrez, to announce San Jose's largest wireless network to date. And this press conference was held at the Independence Adult Center. Residents in the attendance areas of James Lick High School, Overfelt High School, Yerba Buena High School, Independence High School, and Andrew P. Hill High School are able to connect to a network that provides them with free Wi-Fi. Beginning at the end of 2022, the Oak Grove High School area will also be available, and as well as Mount Pleasant High School and Silver Creek High School networks, which will be active in early 2023. In 2021 and in 2022, nearly 300,000 unique devices have used the network with an average of 2.69 million sessions a month. Those numbers are on track to increase exponentially in the next year. To date, the city has invested $13,776,830. I love to say that number in city and federal funds for this initiative, and will host 2 networks, the Student Network and the SJ Access Free Wi-Fi Public Network. For more information on all of this, you can go to our website /free Wi-Fi. Next, we have expanded our operating hours. We are now open on Sundays at 16 locations. October 2nd was the first day that we were open on Sundays, and we had more than 5,500 people come to visit our libraries, and 5,017 items were checked out. So nearly everybody walked out with 1 item if we do the math on that. We celebrated this significant milestone with a campaign called Sunday on Sunday. So the community was invited to come out, visit the library on our opening day, and receive a free sundae provided by Mr. Softy, all courtesy of the San Jose Public Library Foundation. Mr. Softy served over 1,000 ice cream sundaes, and in addition, branch staff offered book giveaways, programs, and story times. A media event was also hosted at Various and Branch, where we were joined by Mayor Liccardo, Councilmember David Cohen, and also the Library Foundation. And it was great also to see youth commissioners at Barry SF. Councilmember Raul Perales visited Joyce Ellington Branch, while Councilmember Pam Foley visited Cambrian Branch, and Councilmember Deb Davis stopped by Bascom to celebrate our Sunday expansion. We are truly thankful for all of our advocates, city leadership, community members, and volunteers, and especially our incredible staff who welcomed all visitors and managed the crowds. So for a complete list of our Sunday branches and also a special recap video of opening day, please visit sjpl.org/Sundays. Another exciting element with our programming is also our spectacular events that we know PRNS is a great partner with us on that. So we are celebrating all year long, but we have book giveaways that started yesterday and go through October 31st. So kids and teens can stop by any public library location and pick out a free book. And for all of the Halloween events, just please visit our website under events. Also really happy to announce that we will have, once again, the annual Halloween parade at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Library. That will happen on Friday, October 28th at 4 p.m., along with a special outdoor performance. And this time, back in the library, the first 4 floors of the library, there'll be a costume parade. And finally, I'm really excited to announce a new library card, an exclusive launch of our new library card in partnership with the San Jose Sharks. So as our partnership begins to grow, this is our second design with the Sharks. And the card was revealed during the Sharks home opener game on Friday, October 14th. This card is also available at every San Jose Public Library location. The new card design includes the Sharks official logo with a teal background, and it has been permanently added to our library card designs. This new design comes after the release of a limited edition Sharks library card, which happened back in 2019. So that's really great that we are now able to have this in our permanent repertoire of library card designs. And also to date, we've had nearly 25,000 of those original Sharks cards have been issued to the public. So really excited about that. Really excited about the continued partnership with the San Jose Sharks. And I'm available for any questions.
Do I get free tickets to Sharks games? Can I get one of the cards?
I think everybody's asking that, Commissioner.
All
But
right.
if we ever do an event, we're more than happy to have you all join us at a Sharks game, because sometimes we do library card drives at those events. So we will be sure to let Youth Commission know.
All right, for sure. If it means watching the Sharks games, I'll be there. All right. If anyone else has any questions, now's the time. All right. If not, thank you, Mr. Knott, for your time. And we can move on to the next item in our agenda, which is the Commission Chair Report. That's me. All right, so I'll keep this brief in the interest of time. So we have our town hall tomorrow. I expect to see all of you there. If you can't make it, please let me know ASAP, like ASAP. We have our training next week. Again, please be there. And we have the virtual town hall in about a month on November 15th. And also note that PRNS now does have a standing spot on our reports information section as per all of your guys' request. And that about concludes my chair report. So we can move on to commissioner reports per district. So starting off, District 1, again, me. My district hasn't been up to too much. We're still trying to get the year started because I don't know why, but this year seems exceptionally hard to get people together and getting people to just organize things efficiently. But we're working on it, and we plan on unveiling our policy proposal in the near future. In the near future, sorry. All right, that's it for me. District 2.
I believe District 2 had to leave.
Right. All right. District 3.
For District 3, at our last YAC meeting, we spent a while brainstorming possible policy ideas. At our upcoming meeting, we're planning to discuss a collaborative event with District 7 and writing a policy memo, and that is it for us.
All right, cool. Thank you for that. District 4.
Yeah, so our last District 4 Youth Advisory Council meeting, we actually had a very special guest speaker come in. We had the previous youth commission for District 4, Amelia Yatinko, come in, and she kind of talked a bit about some of the previous policy proposals that she proposed and worked on, one regarding CO2 emissions, and it was a really great opportunity for my YAC members to kind of see what the Youth Commission, especially District 4 particularly, has done in the past, and kind of gave them some inspiration to brainstorm some ideas down the road. We've also, as I said, like, been brainstorming new ideas. We have 3 different teams. I think I said that last meeting, and basically we're just continuing to work on brainstorming ideas. Each team has started a policy proposal, so you can expect District 4 to have really soon present some policies that we can hopefully have at these meetings. We're also really pleased that right after our YAC meeting tomorrow, we have the town hall meeting, so you can expect some of my YAC members to be there. We are still trying to connect with Mr. David Cohen to come to our YAC meetings. He's a very busy man, so we're continuing to reach out with him and build that relationship so he can come. And I believe that is it on my end.
All right, thank you. Moving on to District 5.
Thank you. And before I start, I'd like to request 2 additional minutes from the chair.
How about we make it 3 minutes and we see where we go from there?
Okay.
Yeah.
District 5 has played a major role in assisting with October 8th's Thank You America Day event hosted by the Vietnamese Museum for thanking the hospitality of the United States in welcoming the refugees of the Boat people. When District 5 Youth Advisory Council also had the opportunity to meet and talk with countless elected officials, among them members of Congress. District 5 appointed 2 Youth Advisory Council members to attend CAS Region 4 conference, where they were able to present their policy proposals on education, formed with the help of other young folks around the Bay, to members of school boards, as well as the state senator. District 5 has appointed 2 Youth Advisory Council members to lead a partnership with the San Jose Public Library in renovating Hillview's teen space to provide the utmost to-date necessities and leisures for youth. District 5 has appointed 2 Youth Commission members to lead a policy proposal conference for this December, which will be open to youths in District 5. District 5 has also created a published website which received positive comment from the Office of Santa Clara Board of Supervisors President earlier today. As the city works on developing the Youth Master Plan, and with the recent council members' memo to expand the age in the youth commissioners that the youth commissioners represent to reflect those of the United Nations, District 5 is conducting a study into the official duties, functions, and roles of the San Jose Youth Commission in the city's municipal code set forth by the city council so far. At the time of the establishment of the commission and in existing municipal code, the code states that no city commission will have existed through which the concerns of young people might be directly solicited or considered in governmental decision-making process, indicating that we are the oldest city youth commission in the nation and haven't been updated since. Since the establishment of the Youth Commission, countless other city, county, and now state youth commissions in California have been established. District 5 feels that it is necessary to update the code to reflect the 250,000 youth that this body represents. At the time, by the end of our research conducted over the course of the next few months, District 5 will move to propose and present a policy memorandum to this commission and the public. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I really appreciate you trying to keep it within 3 minutes. Again, really appreciate that. All right, moving on to District 6. Did District 6 leave? Right, District 6 has left.
District 6 left, but I have District 7's report.
All right.
So Ananya says, overall, District 7 YAC has been planning some future initiatives and events over the past month. They're trying to collaborate with District 3 on either an event or a policy, and are also currently looking for ways to interact with the District 7 schools more via recruitment. They've also reached out to a few healthcare organizations to see if we can work with them in some way in the future.
All right, cool. Okay. I really appreciate Ananya, Commissioner Sriram, reaching out with her report, given that she was not able to make it today. So just for all of you guys in the future, if you are ever unable to make a meeting, the appropriate procedure is just to forward a copy of a report to Ms. Malloy. Okay, moving on to District 8, which is vacant, keep on forgetting. District 9.
Yeah, so I'm just this year's kind of been a little slow. I've gotten most of my YAC together. We've almost finalized our work plan for the year, which includes a couple policies. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Thank you. District 10.
Alrighty, hi there, Commissioner Lee here. So our District 10 is doing good. We're making good progress. We are in the middle of our so-called outreach week, which is basically our first big event of the year. We've been reaching out to more people. So we have a solid number of people already in the YAC, or the D10 YLC as we call it. And we are currently about to add 12 new members. So I'm having our interest meeting, sort of our membership meeting this Thursday. We'll be talking to them about joining the team. And then from there, we're going to get started on all of our more actionable items that I believe I discussed at past YAC meetings like this. And so again, we're making good progress. I think that's pretty much where we're at right now.
All right, thank you. I believe that concludes, citywide report, right?
Vedant has also left for the evening. I forget it's Diwali today, so I feel bad. I forgot.
All right. Well, in that case, we are done with our commission reports. So does anyone have any items at the moment that they'd like to place on next month's agenda? All right, if not, we can move on to adjournment. Just a reminder that if you would like to place items on the next month's agenda, please do so by the agenda posting deadline. If you send your item to us afterwards, we are unable to put it on the agenda. All right, so the next regular meeting of the commission will be Monday, November 28th. But remember, we have our training next week, town hall tomorrow, and virtual town hall November 15th. So those are just the dates to keep in mind. It's been
motion.
Yes, it's been a long day. So does anyone have any motion? Would anyone like to motion to adjourn?
Commissioner Lee, make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:06 p.m.
Thank you. Any seconds?
Commissioner Liu, second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes and we are done.
Good job.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.